everybody, this is iCrafts and I'm finally doing a highly requested Loomigurumi tutorial. So this is the tomato design. It's really cute and tiny. I will show you guys the pattern in a bit, but I absolutely love this. I added a face. I think it's adorable. If you love this design as much as I do, please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe. I'm dedicating this to Ketchup, the person, not the food. And yeah, so I added eyes. I think it makes it 1,000 times cuter, but you don't need eyes. This is my first Loomigurumi tutorial, so if it's not the best, then that is why. And you need to know the basics of Loomigurumi. And I'm going to just show you the pattern now. And by the way, I'm getting a new tripod tomorrow at the time of filming this, so hopefully I can have a little bit better videos. So here is the pattern. You can just pause the video here. And here's the top. Sorry if you can't read my handwriting, I tried my best. Yeah, so let's just get right into the supplies that you will be needing. The supplies you'll be needing are any type of hook, bands, so I will be using jelly red and neon green. And then you can use a C-clip or a stitch marker. I have a stitch marker. And I bought these at Joann Fabrics, but I've also seen them at E.C. Moore and Michaels. Polyfill, and you can get this at any craft store and I think Walmart. And if you want to use eyes, I definitely recommend using them. I bought mine at Joann's Fabrics and they are in the doll eyes section. These are 9mm, I believe, and I think it adds so much to the tomato. So these are the only supplies you'll be needing. If you don't have eyes, you can just use a black band or a pony bead. So let's just jump right into making this adorable tomato. So the first row is a magic circle with 5 single crochets in it. To make a magic circle, you should know how to do this. You just have to take your red band, wrap it into your hook 3 times. And then I'm going to just take 5 bands, pull it through the cat band, and make a slip knot. Then reinsert your hook into the cat band. It does not matter if you go through the front or the back. I just go in through the back. That's how I learned to do it. Pull a band through only the cat band. By the way, this is my second time filming it because I thought I went too fast. And then I'm going to make a slip knot with all of the bands. So it looks like this so far. I'm going to reinsert my hook into the cat band, pull another band through, this is my 3rd stitch, and make another slip knot. I'm just going to repeat this twice more until I have 5 stitches. And all of the rows are multiples of 5, so the most amount of stitches you'll ever have is 15, so it's pretty tiny. Here's my 5th stitch. I'm going to take my stitch marker, and we're going to be putting the stitch marker on the last stitch of the row, so once you reach the stitch with the stitch marker, you know that you have to do 1 more, and then you're finished with the row. Round 2, which is increase in every single crochet, or every stitch, and then we'll end up with 10 stitches. So in every stitch, you're going to do 2 stitches, that way it's increased, and you repeat that in every stitch, so that will be 5 times total.
Next stitch, 2 stitches. And just repeat that until you reach the stitch marker.
My next Loomigurumi tutorial might be a Easter basket, or an Easter basket. I was going to say a basket. It's not Easter anymore, of course, but I designed it the night before Easter, I think. And you can still make a basket any time of the year, and I think it's really cute. I posted on Instagram. It's also in the thumbnail of my last video, which is the how to read crochet patterns. And I really like it. There's a border and everything, and a handle. So if you want me to do a tutorial on that, comment down below, even though it's not Easter anymore. and that's a little bit more advanced than this. So this is what it should look like. I'm going to remove my stitch marker because I have reached the stitch with it, and reattach it on the stitch that I'm working on. And if you count the stitches,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
you stop right here because this is attached to this stitch. So there's 10 stitches, and that's the exact number that you're supposed to have at the end of the row. So the next row is round 3. So you're going to increase and then do a single crochet in the next stitch. Repeat that 5 times so you have 15 stitches. So it's increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet, and so on. And hopefully my phone doesn't autofocus 1,000 times because that gets annoying. So I'm going to start with increase, go inside the next stitch, which is right here. Do 2 stitches. Go in the next stitch, just do 1 stitch. And then back to an increase. At the end of this row, we will have 15 stitches. Now I'm just single crochet. And feel free to leave any feedback. If it's negative, then just make it constructive criticism instead of plain old hate. So, yeah, I'm fine with constructive criticism as long as you phrase it nicely. Then I would love to hear feedback so I can improve my videos. And this is my first Loomigurumi tutorial, so I mean, I expected it to not be the greatest.
And here's my stitch marker.
So I'm just going to do that one more time. So I finished that set, and now there's 2 stitches left, so I'm just going to increase here. And it took me a while, a lot of practice to get to this level of Loomigurumi. And now here's the stitch marker. I'm going to do the last set with the last stitch, which is just a single crochet. Now you can remove your stitch marker. You can feel free to count after every row, but if you did this right, then you should have the same amount of stitches as me, which is 15, and I'm just glancing at my pattern every so often, which was in the intro. So now I'm going to do 3 rows around, just single crochet in every stitch, so there will still be 15. I'm going to do 1 row on camera, and then the other 2 rows, I'll pause the video. So I'm just going to do 15 stitches all the way around, every single stitch. 1 stitch in every stitch, so no increasing, no decreasing, just normal. So this will build up the sides. And 15 stitches, like I mentioned, is the largest it will ever get. If you wanted to make it bigger, then you would do increase, single crochet, increase, and then the next row would be increase, single crochet, single crochet, increase, and then you just keep repeating that. So you just spread out the increases as far as you get. If that makes no sense, then just make it the same size as me. And if you're doing a lot of rows, like I have to do 20 rows for a project I'm currently working on, then I recommend tallying it up because it's very hard to lose count. You can count the rows, but I think it's a lot easier if you're just keeping track. And if you hear any noises, I'm not sure if I'll pick up on camera, that's just my neighbor screaming outside. So, I'm just going all the way around. And red jelly is very nice to crochet with, actually. It isn't super slippery, and it also doesn't have a lot of friction. So I've reached the stitch with my stitch marker in it, or your C-clip, whichever you're using. I made a stitch in there. Now I'm going to remove my stitch marker, place it, and that is 1 row. So I'm going to do the other 2 rows off camera. Make sure you do 2 more rows, otherwise you will have a very oddly shaped tomato. I'll be back when I have done my other 2 rows, so you should have 3 rows in total. So I have finished my 3 rows, and now there are 6 in total. So we can start round 7, and the pattern for that is single crochet decrease. So we're starting to close this off now, and we're going to repeat that 5 times until we're back to 10 stitches. So I'm just going to go inside the first stitch. This is going to be just a normal single crochet, and then going to go in the next stitch, and it's kind of tricky to do a decrease, so you have to go in 2 stitches and make sure that you're going in through the same direction, and then pull a band through both, make the slip knot. You probably have seen the video on how to decrease. Single crochet, and then I kind of have to tilt my hook like this and then the other way to get through both bands, but really whatever you need to do, it's okay if you have a different way of doing it as long as you're still doing a decrease. And then we only have 1 more row after this, and after I'll show you how to attach the leaves and make the leaves, of course. The leaves are pretty easy. It's kind of tricky to get the attachment perfect though. And I'm gonna also just randomly decide to do this now. I'm going to add eyes and a mouth, because, I mean, why not, I guess. Not sure if it's gonna look good, so if it's not in the video, it's because I cut it out if it looks bad. So you might not even see me do that, but I reached the last stitch, so now there are 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And the last row around is just you decrease in every single stitch. So I'm just going to lay out 5 bands because we're repeating this 5 times, and then when I use up all the bands, I know that I've reached the end of the row. That's another way to do it. You can just lay out all the bands and then you don't need to use a stitch marker at all. But I like stitch markers now because then I don't have to count. And it does get kind of tight here. Some stitches might be smaller, but make sure that you don't skip any stitches. And sorry, it's off camera. And before I do the very last one, I'm going to stuff this. So, got my polyfill, and I'm just going to take a little bit. This seems like a lot, but it condenses a lot, so, okay, I'm just gonna knock over my red bands. I'm going to, put the stitch marker on this, so it does not come apart while I'm stuffing it, and just remember, I still have to do 1 more decrease before we can close it off, so don't forget to do that last one. So I'm just going to take my stuffing, and with your fingers you kind of just need to poke them into the hole. And now I'm going to just reinsert my hook and do that last stitch. And it's a little bit harder once you've stuffed it, but it's not too bad. And you can see all these little pieces of fluff that kind of look like hair. So I'm going to remove my stitch marker. And now I'm going to just finish it off. So grab some stitches across and just pull them through. Make a slip knot. And going to pull them through that and make another slip knot. And I'm just going to stick my hook into the bottom of my tomato and pull the string through, then kind of just fluff it up a bit. And here's your tomato. Of course, we need to add this, which is the top part. So I've made 4, and I've just threaded a band through them and attached a C-clip. And I'm going to show you how to make the 5th one. So I showed you the pattern at the beginning, and there's a pattern for this too. It's just a little chain. So you take a green, make a cat band around your hook 3 times. Double loop a band. So you make a cat band, pull that through. Now we're going to switch to 2 bands at a time. Pull it through everything on your hook. And then the last is 3 bands, so just 3 single bands. And now we're going to make 4 more of these. Feel free to pause the video. I've already made 4. Can't talk. And you want to put them all on your hook. Once they're all crammed on your hook, take a band, pull it through all of them. It's a lot easier if you have a crochet hook because they're not about to explode. And once they're all on that one single band, you can just make a slip knot. Then you have this little starfish type thing. And you want it to be on the top, so you can see this is where we close it off. It's a little messy. The bottom looks a lot nicer, or whichever one looks nicer. Just position it as you want it. And you can see it looks like a tomato now. Or at least I think it looks like a tomato. So you can find the slip knot, push it through some bands, pull it through, and then stretch this out. And stretch it around that whole leaf bit. Now you can see it's very loose. It looks like this. So you want to attach it down. So position it wherever you want. And then just hold it on the top. I'm going to go through these bands. Through the cat band. And oops. Sorry if I'm bad at explaining this. And through some more bands. So the green sandwich in the middle. And I'm going to pull a red band through. And make a slip knot. And we can hide that later on. Now I'm going to just do that as many times as I want. Now you want to just go through various places on your tomato. Grab these and pull them down through. They might pop up every once in a while. Just have to go back in and hide them. But this is what my tomato looks like. Now I'm going to grab my eyes, and this is what they look like. So now I'm done, I'm going to just find my face side. If there's any things that are messed up, then you can use this to kind of hide them. So here there's some stuffing poking out, so I'm going to just push the eye into there. If you don't have eyes, you can always just make a cat band on your hook I tried numerous ways to make a mouth. It just did not look good. So I'm going to leave it like this without a mouth. And I think it looks really adorable. It's super squishy. So this is my tomato. I hope you were able to make it. If you were, please post on Instagram to the #iCraftStuff. And you can find me on all my social medias linked down in the description box below, or not linked, but my usernames. And this is my original pattern. Make sure to tell me if you make it down below, because I really hope some people do. I think it's absolutely adorable, especially with eyes, but even without eyes, it's still really cute. Again, this is dedicated to Ketchup. If you don't know who that is, just ignore that. But I really hope you were able to make this once again, and I'll see you next time. Bye!